Welcome to Masters of Product Management, a show that gives you real-world techniques and cutting-edge strategies to learn, apply, and succeed in product management. Now, here's the master himself, Stephen Haines.
I'm passionate about products. And since all products are essentially businesses, I guess that I'm passionate about business too. So it stands to reason that I also like to understand what makes customers tick, what I can do to make them happy, create and manage great products, and at the end of the day, make a few bucks. It's not rocket science. But I'm irked sometimes when I conduct an assessment of a company and I find that there's more attention being paid, no pun intended, to product definition and development than is to monitoring products that are in the market. I'm going to tell you a short story. I used to work at Oracle, and I was on a team that acquired a company. And as we worked to integrate that company into the Oracle portfolio, I was involved in the process to figure out where resources should be deployed. And the employees of that acquired company were ecstatic about joining Oracle because of all the cool things we were working on. When I assigned some product managers to work on some of the existing products in the portfolio, they were bummed. One said to me, I don't want to work on the old stuff. I want to work on the new stuff, which basically blew me away. And I said, hang on a second. What you think is the old stuff is where we're making all of our money. And if we can optimize what we're doing in making more money and gaining more market share, we could get more money to work on new stuff. But it wasn't what he wanted, and he didn't stay for a really long time, and I was really perplexed. So I realized everybody likes to create things, or more product people do. They like to develop and release those products. And my research tells me that more product people like working on those development-focused environments, especially in the technology world. And this is evidenced by the proliferation of products in the digital world, and even a lot of attention to iterative development methods. But that's not what I want to talk to you about today. What I want to talk to you today about is how do you equip yourselves to better manage products that are already in the market? And specifically, what's needed to evaluate both financial indicators and non-financial indicators? And how to agglomerate those into some stories about the product's business so that product strategies can evolve. And just to quote the old adage that I never made up, but if you don't know where you've been, how do you know where to go? So I recently did some research and I asked a question. The question is, are you measuring the performance of existing products? And you can take that any way you want, both from a financial and non-financial point of view. 42% said they essentially did not. 41% said somewhat, and 17% said to a great or very great extent. And to me, I don't find it acceptable. And not only being a product guy and a finance guy, but if I want to know where I want to put my apples in which baskets, I want to know how much money I'm making and what share I have and all the other indicators that are so important. So I don't know about you, but if I want to gain share and make more money, I do want to know where it's coming from and how it can do better. I mean, doesn't anybody? So if you don't measure how much you're selling and at what price, or you can't assess things like quality, the customer experience, unique visitors, or anything that's critical to success, I think you're flying blind. And I think of pilots. And if you're a pilot and you're flying a plane without instrumentation, it's totally unthinkable. So how many product managers don't have the equivalent instrumentation? So from my standpoint, there are some reasons that product managers don't do this. A couple of them. Number one, they don't have access to the right data. Or two, maybe the data isn't too many places. Three, maybe they just aren't being held accountable for the right performance measures. And the other one is maybe they don't know how or they don't really like it. Because when I look at my assessment data, the lowest scoring areas historically over the last 12 years has been both financial analysis and strategic planning. And these two go hand in hand.
Masters of Product Management is brought to you by Sequent Learning. Sequent Learning provides real tools for success in product management, strategy, and marketing. Find out more at sequentlearning.com. That's sequentlearning.com.
Imagine if you had the instrumentation that would guide you to determine the importance of any request that may be coming at you. Imagine if you can use some of these performance measures that gave you a pause to take a time out. Assess what's next. I think about football teams, like American football teams, when you're making a play on the field, lots of action going on, but the play is done. Quarterback pulls everybody into a huddle. That huddle, think about those people in the huddle. Those are your cross-functional team members. And you're assessing all kinds of things. You're assessing the score, the distance to the goal line, how much time has elapsed, the field conditions, all kinds of things like that, right? Well, all of those things help you create these snapshots in your mind and then figure out what's next. Imagine even further that at any point, you or some of your team members could tell a story about the product's business so that everybody knew what you were doing and why, and that there was more purpose to what you were doing. So I want to make a recommendation to you. If you'd like to keep an eye on the store, so to speak, then you need some guidelines. And here's what I want to do. I want to give you an assignment. The assignment is to create a product business dashboard. And I want you to think about putting 4 quadrants on a piece of paper or on a board or something like that. I want you to label the upper left quadrant financial information. There you can put things like revenue, cost of goods, gross margin, contribution per unit, customer profitability, percent of revenue from new products, anything that has numbers associated with it. On the lower left, I want you to put key performance indicators. These are the non-financial indicators. Put indicators like market share or share growth rates, net promoter score. Look at inventory turns, return rates, defects, even your order to cash cycle time. That's something that you can look at. In the upper right, think about this, marketing mix performance indicators. You know that marketing mix, 4 Ps, product, price, promotion, and place. Think about things like average selling price, average revenue per customer, customer acquisition costs, sales by channel, campaign return on investment. There are some things you can do there. And then on the lower right quadrant, think of other metrics. Who are your top 20 customers? Who are the products that are purchased most often? Do you have a lot of unique website visitors? You have conversion rates? What about product feature usage? Think about that. So what I would recommend is take a stab by yourself or just get a couple of your team members together. The main idea is uncover some metrics that you can use to assess what you have and to figure out what to do next. Now, you may need to find out where the data is located in your company, but imagine if you could get something like this even automated so you could take business snapshots every day or as often as needed. And what's important about this, if you think about the speed of play in a football game, and it's play after play after play, right? Well, some markets move very, very quickly. And so if you're having a lot of transactions and a lot of activity, you want to look at play after play after play. If you work in a retail environment, you want to look at all the different transactional volumes. So indicators of market velocity are important when you're looking at these dashboards, because if you have a dashboard with data that's too old, you're going to be operating based on a faulty set of assumptions. So think about this and think about how smart and savvy retail shop owners are. Who knows what sold last week, who knows what sold yesterday, what's selling today, and what's going to sell tomorrow, right? So those are my basic thoughts for today on minding the store and product performance management. And what I do is I hope that you found this chat to be helpful, inspiring, and that you're going to be able to put the idea of a dashboard into practice so that maybe you and your team members could be more informed and productive. And I think it's a great way to enhance your overall efficiency and maybe your effectiveness as a product leader. So for now, I wish you luck, have fun, and I'll see you next time.
This has been Masters of Product Management with Stephen Haines, but it doesn't end there. Just visit sequentbusiness.net to gain access to all of our shows, take advantage of free tools and resources, and subscribe. That way you'll never miss an episode. It's all there at sequentbusiness.net. We'll talk to you next time on Masters of Product Management on the Sequent Business Network. Learn, apply, and succeed. Sequentlearning.com